aside from hearing scare stories about Al-Shabaab turning into an extreme Islamist group and taking Somalia down a path that Hillary Clinton loves to describe. I mean, we also hear about piracy and so on, but not much else to fill in the pieces. But can you give us a little bit of background on, was there a particular incident that sparked this latest round of increased fighting in the country? Was it a coincidence that it all started around the celebration of the first year of Sheikh Arif Ahmad's rule?
I think it's a little bit to show the opponent of the TFG or Mr. Sharif's opponent. They are still there, they are active, they can still try to oppress him. But mainly the fighting is in Somalia is daily occurrence. But what seems to be to show Mr. Sharif that Al-Shabaab is still active and they are there.
Is it true that Al-Shabaab are particularly attractive to a younger generation? Indeed, the name means youth. Are they really a bunch of youth?
I think that there's a truth element in there. For example, the country, my colleague has been telling you for the last 19 years, there has been no peace. There's a poverty there, there's no jobs, there's a lack of income coming to the household. So the only thing to do for the young boys there, either to do one of three things, either to join the government who's there, the government army, or to join Al-Shabaab, for fight them for $15 or $20 whenever there's a fight that particular day, or to leave the country. That is a three option the young generation, which has been there in the country for the last 20 years, got. So the only attraction is they don't have to, it's not the young children, they believe the ideology of Al-Shabaab, but they have no choice but to earn a living. The industry is a fight in Somalia, and they have to join one of these groups.
And is there any information, as far as you're aware, Mr. Odawa, on who's actually funding Al-Shabaab, indeed any of the groups? Because there's a lack of money, but these groups never seem to have a shortage of arms.
And that's good. It's very, very mystery. We don't know who is and who. But still we have a little bit, opinion that we can say maybe they link it with Al-Qaeda, or maybe they link it with this extremist in somewhere else. So we don't know exactly who is behind them. So that is a little bit more mystery for us.
Well, sorry.
I think there's no real evidence there's had money come from abroad. The only thing we know is the Islamists, they got their own income, what they call security money. They control a couple of borders in, for example, Kismayo. They control airports. And the other majority of the business in Somalia, the area they control, they take money extortionally. They have to pay what they call security. That is the only money we know Al-Shabaab got.
Right, right. And if I could bring you in, Mr. Delmar, there on the phone, could you give us your opinion on what you feel the current administration can do within Somalia to be a positive impact on the situation? Do you think there's any way they can accommodate what seems to be a very strong call for order and justice based on Islamic principles?
Well, I think we shouldn't, hope too much or a lot from the current administration, simply because they are too feeble and too weak to come with any alternatives or any solutions. When one considers the fact that, we're out of 16 districts to which the capital Mogadishu is divided, the current administration control only 6 of them, and the rest are, portioned between Shabab and the Islamic Party, Hizb al-Islam, then one can see the picture. The problem is, this solution or solutions, multiple solutions that are coming from abroad. When governments are installed, somewhere far removed from the Somali territories, and then brought in planes to the capital or to another regional city, then you know that it's not a homegrown solution. So I don't think, where the solution to the staggering problems that where the Somali territories under the control of these areas is coming from this administration. What is needed is actually, you know, to rethink the whole thing and to consult the people.
Right.
For example, you know, is it possible that for a homegrown Somali solution to blossom and bring, you know, a solution?
Well, what is,
yes.
if I could bring in Mr. Warsame here, sorry to interrupt you, what is stopping the government being more effective in consulting its own people?
It's true. What's stopping the government to consult for its own people is the government has been set up by the international community, and they've been given a promise of, I think it was 213 million from Brussels. The real problem there, the government, the opposition are within the same power. They all got the same sort of identity of weaponry and machines. Nobody is stronger than each other. The international community is watching them. The only problem the government has got is they can get the people, they can get the army, they can build an army capable to fight their opposition, but the army will sell their weapon. And the reason is there's no money to give. The Western community, particularly on the world community, they promise them money. And if you don't have the money, and this soldier cannot get their own salary, the only thing they have to do is to sell the guns. So there's some sort of agenda from the international community that these opposition group and the government have to be the same level field. So no one win the war.
Right, right, which perpetuates it in a way, which keeps it going.
Would keep it going forever.
Okay, right.
You got these groups which is called Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, which is favorite by Ethiopian. For example, they try to help them because they know these weapons they're giving to Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah won't come back to them, where they think Al-Shabaab might fight with the weapon they're giving to them. You got the transitional government in this side, which is weak.
Yeah.
And if they get the money, if they get the manpower and the fighters haven't got the money to give to their own army.
Yes, yes.
So it's a ball revolving there.